Gee weeb, could you marta shiv and will to go my? Let me move myself a little bit here. Niall McConnell is Anyam Dum. It's as Castlin the Finja Mature Connell County Donegal. And okay, so we've got a big show for you tonight. Today is the 3rd year anniversary of her beloved Ashling Murphy, where she was brutally murdered by a Roma gypsy. Joseph Puska, I believe his name is. And he's serving a life sentence today. And with the powers that be, the mainstream media would try to blame men, Irish men, for this attack on women. And they had the likes of Leo Varadkar saying that it had nothing to do with mass migration. Well, if we control the mass immigration, if we did some background checks on the criminals coming into this country, this wouldn't have happened, and our Ashling Murphy would still be here. So we remember Ashling Murphy. She will not be pigeonholed and put down the memory hole, because we must discuss what happened, as difficult as it is. But, you know, as I say again, if immigration was controlled, if people like ourselves who've been blowing the whistle on immigration for years and years, if they listened to us, wouldn't have happened. And the murderer, Puska, his two brothers and Puska's wife are actually on trial this year now for covering up and lying to the Gardaí. So we'll obviously keep an eye on that, right? So it's great to see so many people in the live chat. Please let me know where you're all from, whether it be Ireland, England, Scotland, or Wales, America, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, wherever you're from. Please let me know in the live chat, or if you're rewatching the show, please comment in the comment section. Sean Mack, thank you so much for moderating. Caroline, thank you for moderating too. Zarowski and yourself, that's the moderators. Frank Barron, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Burnka, what about you? Frank Barron, good man yourself. End of the line, Joel. Who else we got here? Attracta, thanks for joining us. Poke, how you doing? Era 1014, good to see you. Poke, what about you? Angela says she's from Birmingham. Dublin 18 says Era. Drogheda, County Louth. Kilkenny. Ballinasloe says John Byrne. East County Down from Cowden, Beath in Scotland. Offaly says Tana Glover. Dublin says Zarowski. Inner City, South Dublin, not infested here. France, Ireland by birth. Attractive quality, good stuff yourself. Wexford says Siobhan. Okay, fantastic to see so many people in the live chat. Look, if you're new to the show, please subscribe. Please share all these streams with your friends and family. That's the very least that you can do, is get the message out there, because we don't hold back here. We tell the truth, as unpleasant as it may be, but we do tell the truth. Fanad says Dennis. James Ginley says Donegal, North Carolina. Born in Dublin says Patrick Ryan. Wexford says Siobhan. Derry Pierce Pedro says good evening. Or sorry, Sean says to Derry Pierce Pedro good evening. Yonkers, New York here. Thanks for all the do. Ashling Murphy, see your name absolutely. Austin, Texas. Just tuned in. Such horrible news, says Chris. Good man, Chris. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so we're going to see our Lord's Prayer as Gaeilge before we get into tonight's action. So please join us. In Anya Manahar agus Avek agus Spirit Ní Amen. Arn Yahar Atar now go Nifer Daniel go Dagda the Red go Nyanter the Holland Talib Marianter now. Arnar the Hull tor doing you agus might doing our fecta. Mar Whitehameds dar fecta na Féin ag na election a gahu ag sir shina ulk. Amen. In Anya Manahar agus Avek agus Spirit Ní Amen. Alright everybody, welcome to tonight's show. Hope you're all doing well. Fantastic to see so many people in the live chat already. As I said already, if you're new, please subscribe, please like, and the very least you can do for us is share it with friends and family in WhatsApp groups, private messages, emails, groups, Telegram groups, all that good stuff. Share this link, this live stream with all your friends and family. Let's get the message out there, right? So our beloved Ashling Murphy was murdered 3 years ago by a Roma gypsy criminal that should never have been in Ireland in the first place, Joseph Puska. Now here is a wee short clip of Ashling and her sister playing the fiddle here.
Amy Murphy, we're sisters, we're from Blue Ball, so just out the road, and we're delighted to be here for the Tilmore Chad Fest.
And if we had a control on our immigration, she'd still be here with us. So that was a little clip there of our Ashling Murphy, who's no longer with us, who was murdered by a Roma gypsy who should never have been here in the first place. Now, her sister came out and said, crossing a national border does not automatically instill a moral code in a person. You were given an Irish welcome and you supported by the Irish state to allow you to reside here. You repaid this by brutally murdering a beautiful, talented girl who contributed so much to society. It's absolutely disgusting what happened. And the poor girl is no longer with us. And you have the mainstream media gaslighting the Irish people to this day about exactly what happened. Here we see some headlines from the newspapers. Puska was prosecuted for underage sex in native Latvia. But he's not a European. He's not white. He's a Roma gypsy. The married father of 5 who became a killer predator, Joseph Puska, who murdered Ashling Murphy, was prosecuted for underage sex in Slovakia. Browsed dating websites and stalked up to 4 women on the day he knifed primary teacher to death. So there you go, and there's another article down there saying the same thing. So this guy has a long history of criminal activity. Not only that, he was a paedophile in Slovakia. And this isn't the first time this has happened, where you have left dangerous foreign criminals enter the country and the Irish government have done absolutely nothing about it. They're wandering the streets, and how many times have we seen this now? Our young Irish women, children and men getting brutally attacked and murdered by foreign criminals who should not be here in the first place. The Irish people need to pull their head out of the sand. Enough is enough. You know, do we have to keep waiting for another Ashling Murphy to happen? We know what's going to happen if nothing is done about this mass immigration invasion that's happening. And this guy here comes from Slovakia, which is a member of the European Union. He could come here legally, but of course there's no background checks done on him. Really important to share this video with all your friends and family. Get the message out there. The mainstream media are covering this up. They're trying to gaslight the Irish people, blaming Irish men for this, when it was a foreign criminal that did this to this poor wee Ashling Murphy, who's no longer with us. What do you all think in the live chat? Please let me know. Any questions, any comments? Yep, Sean Max's postcode was a pedo. He sexually assaulted and raped young girls in Latvia and Croatia. There you go. Two young women in the north were murdered by outsiders. Yeah, they were. Nobby Clark says in the gym getting strong. Good man, Nobby. Okay. Now here's a clip here. So here you have Varadkar saying, making up complete lies about the murder of Ashling Murphy. After Irish woman Ashling Murphy was killed by a migrant with a history of violence and raping young children in Slovakia and other countries as well, still allowed into Ireland, former Taoiseach Leo Varadkar said it had nothing to do with immigration. He went on to falsely claim that the killer had been working in Ireland when in fact he was on welfare. My shock, lying through his teeth.
I think the killing and the death of Ashling Murphy was one of those events that really touched the nation. I remember it so well, and I remember the outpouring of grief for that young woman who was killed in the way she was. And I remember the anniversary only a few weeks ago. And I really think to connect that to a debate about international protection and migration is really wrong. Really wrong. The evil person who killed poor Ashling Murphy was an EU citizen, had been in the country for the best part of 10 years, working and paying taxes. That's how he acquired his rights to social welfare and other things. And sadly, he turned on that girl for whatever reason he did and killed her. But to connect that to international protection and refugees coming to this country, whether they're genuine or not, it's really wrong, Deputy. Like, really, Deputy, don't bring our country down into that spiral. Please don't.
Well, he wasn't an Irishman, was he? He was a foreigner coming into Ireland. Of course we're going to tie it to immigration. Of course it's got to do with mass migration and open borders. Of course it's got to do with that. And anybody telling you anything different is a liar and a cheat. It makes you really angry talking about this, because they do nothing but absolute lie. Lie in front of you, lie about everything, gaslight the Irish people, and I've had enough. So instead of share this video with all your friends and family, just get the message out there. Let's spread the truth, because the mainstream media is not going to do anything. Excuse me. What do you all think in the live chat? Any comments? Any interesting ideas yourself you've got about this? Yeah, remember all the NGOs protesting against all men? They shut up when he turned out to be a gay immigrant. Yeah, well, this is the thing. The mainstream media, Helen McEntee, they were all out there saying, "Oh, this is men or violence from men against women," blaming Irish men for this. You know what I mean? Let's move on here now to another story. Now let's debunk news talk. There have been recently saying that migrants are not getting lenient lenient sentences, which in fact they are. We see many examples now to prove News Talk wrong, to fact check the fact checkers, because here they are claiming that migrants are not getting lenient sentences, which in fact they are, and we'll prove it. Let's play this clip here.
So yesterday he retweeted a claim that
They're talking about Elon Musk here.
Irish citizens get longer prison sentences than illegal immigrants, is how he described it. That's messed up. That's what Elon said. And what's messed up is that it's 100% inaccurate.
If Elon said it, it's probably correct.
No, it's not. It's wrong. It's actually, I'm going to tell you why it's wrong. The person he was retweeting, who's a well-known far-right agitator, cited a single case from 20 years ago when a large study was carried out only 2 years ago that said there's no statistical difference in terms of sentencing between Irish citizens and foreign-born nationals, except when it comes to sexual offences. And when it comes to sexual offences, foreign-born nationals get much tougher prison sentences than Irish citizens. So actually, not only was he wrong, it was the opposite of the truth.
Well, that's conceivable, I suppose. What I would say to you, as an Irishman, and I must tell you, some of my best friends I've ever had have been Dubliners. And so I just want to say to you, remember what a scoundrel Michael Collins was. They should have done him in right in the beginning, don't you think? Well, the scoundrel, rat, the lies he told. Remember all the lies he told?
Oh, I see what you're getting at. That essentially, the things he might have said about the British or the British Empire pale in significance to kind of the Ireland that he helped to shape.
That's right. Now, today,
so Elon Musk can say awful things about people with dark skin in this country, and it doesn't matter if the ends justify the means.
No. I would say that the Irish.
So yesterday.
So let's debunk the fact checkers here, because there's many examples here. Chico Macamda, reduced sentence for sexual assault if he's self-deported. Have you had enough yet, or shall I continue to embarrass everyone at News Talk? Serial sex attacker Chico Macamda jailed again after failing to leave the country. There should be. I thought I had a thread here. Let me see here now. Because I thought I had loads of these ready to go, but I don't see them now. There was like a thread of examples here. Oh, here we go. Okay, man jailed for repeated rape of a teenager with mild intellectual disability he accosted on the street. Violent rapist got extraordinary jail term discount because he can't speak English. He, Purvu, had a significant prior criminal record, including most notably a conviction for attempted rape, on a fact on which surprisingly little emphasis was placed by the trial judge. There was no plea of guilty or expression of remorse. What the probation report had to say about his attitude to his victim was very disturbing. We agree with the trial judge that the fact of being a non-English speaker would make the sentence more difficult for the respondent, as does the fact that it is not possible for family members to make visits. This provided a basis for some reduction in sentence. There we go. Another one. Man 24 who sexually assaulted elderly landlady gets suspended sentence. Detective Garda Eamon Moylan told Rebecca Smith, prosecuting, that the man had recently arrived in the country from his native Asia and found lodgings with a woman who had two other female lodgers living with her. The Nicola Cox BL defending said the man had little to no English and had only been living in the country for 3 weeks at the time of the offence. So there you go. What else have we got? Man forced stepdaughter to watch while he raped her mother in Tipperary home. Foreign national with limited English. Man who sexually assaulted woman and chased her through hotel jail for 6 years. Judge Nolan said Ba's plea of guilty was late but valuable. He took into account that Ba was an African national who speaks French and as such would have difficulty in prison because he has little English. See, lenient sentences for foreign criminals in Ireland. The fact checkers News Talk have been fact checked and debunked. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. So what's everybody saying in the live chat? Let me go here now. Susan, thanks for joining us. Okay, let's move on here. What else have we got here for you? New mystery entrant as asylum accommodation payments continue to soar. The gravy train continues. Excuse me. The list of payments to providers of accommodation for people claiming asylum in the state has been published this morning. Right at the top of the list again is Cape Wrath owners of City West, who pocketed more than €17 million in the 3 months between July and September. I also see companies who gripped have shone the light on, figuring prominently among them the D Hotel in Drogheda, Banty McInerney's Brimwood, Gateway Integration, who have the East Wall Centre, Seafin Events, who are involved in the controversial Kipper Estate, the ironically named Holiday Inn, Travelodge, and so on. But do not fret, if I do not mention you here, I shall be back. To put the overall figures in context, back in 2009, the cost of asylum accommodation was a mere 44 million, when there were just 6,879 people in IPAS centres. That has risen to 650 million in 2023. My God. The total cost for last year has not been released, but were estimated that they could come to just under €2 billion. As in March last year, Minister Roderick O'Gorman was given an estimate of €5 billion for refugee beds over the next 20 years. An absurd underestimate, surely, as numbers in IPAS accommodation reached almost 33,000 at the end of December. So this is just unbelievable. Our borders are wide open. The Irish taxpayer is footing the bill, of course. While, Mary and Paddy, Irish men and Irish women, they can barely put food on the table. Our youngsters are forced to emigrate to the likes of Australia because there's nothing here for them. The Irish state is spending any penny we have on non-Irish, housing them, free accommodation, free food, social welfare, transportation, education, healthcare, you name it, it's free. But it's not free though, is it? The Irish taxpayer is footing the bill, and I say enough is enough. It's time to carry out mass deportations, take our children home that are in Australia, Canada, America, bring them home, give them accommodation, look after our own people first. Ireland belongs to the Irish. Enough is enough. What do you all make of that, everybody? €5 billion, says Sean Mike. Unbelievable. You're right there. Yeah, free because we pay for it. Struggling to make our own ends meet. You're absolutely right. Yep, Stevie Thompson, right, but people still keep voting for them. And that poor wee Irish mammy had to sleep in a car with her son. Yep. Niall, what do you think of those in the Defence Forces? I support the Irish men and women in the Defence Forces. They're treated like crap. They get paid very little. I support the Defence Forces. Okay, what else have we got here for you? Here's a cracker from a Sinn Féiner. Lynn Boylan. She says, attacking weather alerts is now far right, according to Sinn Féin's Lynn Boylan. Let's have a listen into her to see what Lynn Boylan has to say about the far right weather reports.
Mid-air and get an awful end
and
of
they
the stick,
did
though, 'cause
actually get some
last
political
week
stick.
I was travelling to Cork, and there was you could hear a discussion on the radio of, well, it's not that bad. And you got on the train out of Houston, you got outside the Pale.
Yeah, and you see,
wow.
But it's why it's really unfortunate to see politicians try and play that far-right playbook of now attacking weather alerts. I mean, if weather alerts have saved an older person breaking their hip or their ankle and then blocking up hospitals, do you know what I mean? So, look, the weather alerts, yes, there's an element of your own personal responsibility, but it is important to check in, to hear those weather alerts and go, do you know what, if I don't need to leave the house, it's probably better, and that helps the healthcare system. Do you know what I mean? So all of these things are important.
Mid-air and get an awful
The far right weather reports now, according to Sinn Féin, really. Well, Sinn Féin are a load of Marxists. They're internationalists, not nationalists. Make that very, very clear. Sinn Féin are not Irish Republicans. They're not Irish nationalists. They're Marxist communists. That's what they are. And they're not revolutionary. Well, they're communist revolutionaries. But they are not, why would you say? They're not anti-establishment. Sinn Féin are the establishment. They support all the mainstream corporate political ideologies you can think of. Mass migration, they support that. They support the destruction of the homogenous Ireland that we know and love. They support the killing of unborn Irish children through abortion, and they support the radical LGBT agenda in schools that's brainwashing our children and sterilising our youth. They support all those mainstream political ideologies. They're not anti-establishment. Sinn Féin are the establishment. What do you think here in the live chat? Am I correct? Am I incorrect? Please let me know. If you're rewatching the show, please comment in the comment section. I'd like to hear what you have to say. So it's fantastic to see so many people in the live chat already. Make sure, at the very least, you subscribe. If you're new to the show, please subscribe. We live stream 3 times a week. We upload daily videos. We have our own party newspaper, The Irish Patriot. So why? We got lots going on. So we are trying to get the latest issue of our party newspaper, The Irish Patriot, to print. There is our newspaper, The Irish Patriot. This is the latest one. We're trying to get a new one to print. We've got the best writers in Ireland. We've got a fantastic editor. We've got the only Irish national newspaper in the whole island of Ireland. We've got distributors chomping at the bit to distribute our newspaper nationwide. January marks the 5th year anniversary of our party newspaper and distribution, and the reason we have Ireland's only patriotic newspaper is your support. We rely on you. We're not funded by the state. We're not funded by NGOs. We rely on our fellow listeners to support our campaign, our newspaper. So down below this video, you will get a link to chip into our newspaper fundraiser, to pay for the writers, to pay for the graphics designer, to pay for the printing. This all costs money. I'm a sheep farmer from Castlefin. I can't do everything on my own, but with your support, we can get this newspaper out there. You've seen over the past 5 years, we've distributed over, roughly 500,000 newspapers of the Irish Patriot newspaper nationwide, all 32 counties, actually all over the world, but mostly it happens in Ireland. So let's get the newspaper to print. If you want to support us, if you want to chip in, this is the page here behind me. If you can chip in €10, fantastic. If you can chip in more, even better. Also, you can set up a monthly donation to help us continue our work. We're doing all sorts of political action, running in elections. We are uploading videos every single day of the week, and we've got our own newspaper. So let's support our work. Let's get the Irish Patriot newspaper, the latest issue, to print. Link is in the description. Scroll down below this video. You'll get the link there. Okay. Linda Ross says, Niall's SNP in Scotland say to anyone that goes against him that we are far right. It's the same in Ireland. That's just the playbook. Anything they disagree with, they'll just call you far right. Gandalf says, Niall is the real deal. Thank you very much. Now, I put my money where my mouth is. I haven't changed my opinion in the past. I've been doing this for well over 10 years. I think my YouTube channel is like 13 years old. So I've been doing this for a good while now. Any questions or any comments in the live chat, please type in the live chat or in the comment section. Okay, what else have we got here now? Okay, let's see here now. As an Irish citizen, is this the person that you want or expect to represent you as a citizen? Time to wake up. You're not a racist. You're a common sense citizen. Under attack from the left. Let's play this clip and have a laugh.
Hi, my name is Ade Olobrode and I'm running in the Trinity Shanard election. I would like you to give me your #1 vote. A quarter of the Irish people living in Ireland today are of the migrant background. Yet, There is no representation whatsoever for this category of people at the Shanad. I ask for your number one vote. Because as a barrister practicing in human rights, asylum and immigration law, employment law, judicial review, and other areas of law, I have been involved in defending human rights and the values that we Irish people hold very dear.
We Irish people? The woman can't even speak English and she's a barrister.
In the clients and all the cases that I represent. Going to the Shanad, I will use this experience to scrutinize legislation and formulate public policy that are driven by our values as the Irish people. I therefore ask you to give me your number one vote. Thank you.
I wish this was a parody, but it's not. When you hear the word diversity, when you hear the words cultural enrichment, that means more of foreigners, less of you. There is no upper limit to diversity until you're effectively gone, wiped out. That's the end goal here. They're trying to wipe us out. The Irish people are probably roughly 0.06 of the world's population. We are an ethnic minority here on the global scale of things. We cannot absorb this mass migration. We do not want assimilation. We want separation. We want to be left alone to live with our own people like we have done for thousands of years. Is that too much for that? Is that too much to ask for? We want our own homeland. Ireland is our homeland. We have nowhere else to call home. Enough is enough. All right. Yeah, Simeon Burke can't even get to where she's at because who he is. Yeah, he's trying to get a master's or something, isn't he? And his legal profession, trying to get into, like, I don't know what university it is, but they're just refusing point blank because of who he is. What I think of the AfD in Germany in the elections, not a while out. The AfD, isn't the leader of the AfD a lesbian and she's going out with a Sri Lankan migrant? And that's the political party that's going to save Germany? Really? So yeah, there's Joseph O'Donnell there mentioned something very important in the live chat. We actually have an Irish language class every single Tuesday. You're more than welcome to join. So complete beginners is from 7 to 8, and then kind of lower intermediate 8 to 9. That's every single Tuesday. You can sign up to our Irish language class. You'll get resources. You'll get added to our online, I don't know, how do you call it, platform, where we will upload different things, and everything's available. Previous lessons are available for you. It's all patriots, taught by Garola Coleman, an Irish patriot himself. So if you want to join in our Irish language course, or sorry, class, link is down below in the description. Sign up, you're more than welcome. Blocked by the woke barristers. Yeah. Okay, what else have we got here now for you? Now, I want to expose the abortion racket, the abortion referendum, and how one-sided it was. And this article in particular here, Amnesty International ordered to return donation from billionaire George Soros. This is from the Irish Times. Standards in public office commissions deemed €137 donation in breach of law. Long story short, George Soros donated €137,000 to pro-abortion NGOs, and the NGO refused to return it, even though the watchdog said this is illegal, should return it. No, they didn't return it. And this is just one example of many. For example, Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg has openly stated that the Irish regime, the Irish government, asked him personally to stop any pro-life advertisements on Facebook. Think about it. Facebook is the largest, most influential news platform in the whole world, bar none. And during the abortion referendum campaign, Facebook were not allowing pro-life advertising. Now, to get back to this article, Amnesty International said it will not obey an instruction by the state's ethics watchdog to return a donation from billionaire George Soros to fund his campaign to overturn Ireland's abortion ban. SIPO has instructed Amnesty International to return a €137,000 donation from the Soros-funded Open Society Foundation. Refusing to obey, Amnesty's chief executive Colin O'Gorman told the Irish Times, "We're being asked to comply with a law that violates human rights, and we can't do that." Now, when he says their law, it violates human rights, what he really means is it violates abortion rights. They say human rights, or abortion is human rights. This is the crazy thinking that they have. This is how they've changed the language. It's got the money for its My Body, My Rights campaign, which advocates the repeal of the 8th Amendment and the introduction of laws preventing abortion in Ireland. However, SIPO said the donation breached Ireland's campaign finance laws, which prohibit foreign donors making donations to groups involved in elections or referendums here. Last night, a spokesperson for the Commission declined to comment on the amnesty case, but said SIPO's rule was to enforce legislation. Under legislation, a sentence of up to 3 years can be imposed. Did anybody do any jail time? Did the mainstream media cover this? Did RT News cover this? Was there calls for another referendum? Was there calls for anything? No, of course not. But every single year now, 10,000 plus 10,000 Irish babies are slaughtered every single year. The pro-life movement, we need to call for another referendum. We must call for a fair referendum where both sides have an equal playing field. The last referendum was a complete joke. It was all pro-abortion, pro-abortion, pro-abortion by the mainstream media, the radio, the NGOs. They were all pushing pro-abortion and they were lying about everything. So enough is enough. Protect the unborn, protect the most vulnerable in our society. We need to speak up. As unpleasant as it may be, the most vulnerable in our society, the unborn Irish children, they have no choice whether they live or die. And we've had medical reports now coming out in the past few years saying doctors have had to leave their field because they've witnessed a baby's been born alive. And they have no procedure when abortion takes place and the baby is coming out alive screaming. This is a fact, this is truth. What to do with the baby screaming? They leave it on a table, they all leave the room, close the door, and let the baby die. That's what they do. That's a fact. A study came out in one of the big medical journals. The baby's born alive, they don't know what to do. They put the baby on the table, walk out, and let the baby die. This is what's happening in Ireland. And a country that kills their own unborn babies deserves no future. And God will punish us, and God is punishing us. It's absolutely disgusting that people are not speaking out against us. How can this be allowed to happen in modern, progressive, liberal Ireland? We got rid of the shackles of the Catholic Church for what? To kill our wee babies. What I'm talking about there, about, like, you might think I'm exaggerating, but maybe in the next stream I'll pull up that study. I'm not making this up. I'll pull up the next study for those of you who think I might be exaggerating. This is effectively what the study said, that doctors, they had to leave their job. They were so sick, they went into the toilets puking. They left the field because babies were born alive. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know what the procedure was. But see, because they can't do anything, they can't administer any health or any they can't look after the baby because the house of cards will fall because they keep saying it's not a baby, it's a clump of cells. They actually try to say it's not a human being. But when the baby comes out screaming, when they've got arms and legs and the baby's screaming, they can't look after it because it'll open up a whole can of worms that in fact it is a baby. Well, any normal person will know it's a baby. But the mainstream media have warped the minds of the Irish people that much. Babies been born alive, screaming, and just left to die in rooms on their own. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. And this is happening in our country right now as we speak. Where's the men of Ireland? Where are they? Cowards. Because it's the man's job to stand up and speak. And I'll have no friggin' liberal tell me because I'm a man I can't speak out against abortion. You know where you can go. I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'll speak out against abortion if I want. Okay. Okay, so our hearts and prayers go, or our thoughts and prayers go out to the people of Los Angeles, California, because there's crazy wildfires breaking out there, and I'm very suspicious of them, to be quite honest with you, but I don't know why a lot. But it's very interesting. The mayor of Los Angeles was questioned at the airport because she was off calling in Ghana. So let's just play this clip here, right?
Do you owe citizens an apology?
Let's play this clip here now and see what they have to say. Well, she doesn't say anything, does she?
Do you owe citizens an apology for being absent while their homes were burning? Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor? Have you nothing to say today? Have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today? Elon Musk says that you're utterly incompetent. Are you considering your position? Madam Mayor, have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today who are dealing with this disaster? No apology for them? Do you think you should have been visiting Ghana while this was unfolding back home? Madam Mayor, let me ask you just again, have you anything to say to the citizens today as you return?
No. Ma'am, hold on 1 second.
Madam Mayor, just a few words for the citizens today as you return to deal with the catastrophe.
Can you take this down?
David, as you say, she wasn't very keen to answer any of your questions there. And fire chiefs are also admitting that they just don't have enough personnel to take out the fires.
Yeah, they're fighting all sorts of challenges. They're talking about a water shortage. There are reports of fire hydrant failures. They've been unable to use firefighting aircraft for much of the day due to the smoke that is billowing ominously from the hills where the wildfires are raging. And I suppose despite that political storm, this is, of course, at its heart, a human story, because we've now 80,000 people evacuated. Tens of thousands of others are on standby to be evacuated. 2 lives have been lost in the Eaton fire, which is what's causing the consequence behind us. The city's iconic landscape almost shrouded completely by the smoke. And they're really just taking it one step at a time, hoping at some stage the wind's going to change direction or to die down, and that they're going to be able to get this fire under control.
So terrible scenes in Los Angeles, California. I have my suspicions about what's happened. I don't know. I'm not an expert. I'm not going to try and guess what happened, but, you know, caught in the fire department, water not in fire hydrants. You know, similar things happened in Hawaii, didn't it, as well? You know, isn't there Olympics coming up now in California as well, in America? Is it a land grab? Is it something to do with smart cities? Mega cities? And of course they're blaming climate change, of course. Yeah. Okay. So look, everybody. As I said already in the last stream, we're trying to get the latest issue of our party newspaper, the Irish Patriot, to print. Let's see if anybody in the stream has donated it so far. Let me check quickly. No. Come on, everybody. Not one donation, not €5, not €10, nothing. We need this paper to print ASAP. We need this printed a week or two ago, but we just are struggling to hit our funds. We've Ireland's only Irish nationalist newspaper in the whole island of Ireland. We rely on you, the listeners. We can't do this without you. You know, if you can afford to chip in, please do so. €10 is all we're asking for. If everybody watching this chipped in €10, we'll go to print tomorrow. We can't do this on our own. We need your support. You know, we're a grassroots movement. We've been going for 5 years. Without your support, this does not happen. So if you want to chip in, scroll down below this video, click the link in the description, newspaper fundraiser. Like, I do a lot of these live streams for, you know, it seems to be entertainment purposes. People just watch my streams and just not contributing at all, not even sharing my stuff. So the very least you could do is share my streams. But if you can afford €10, please do so. It really helps us out, helps us get our paper to print. And look, there's a monthly button too. If you want to chip in a monthly donation, you're more than welcome to do it as well. Help us continue our work. Okay, everybody, I'm going to leave it there already. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hopefully we can get this paper to print ASAP. But another poor showing on the stream tonight, but it is what it is. There's nothing else I can do. So we'll see you all again soon. God bless you all. Aaron go bra.